Hey everybody, Tony D with the final video of the evening. Little Jones asleep on the couch. So I'm just going to leave her alone since I already shot this video once and left the damn microphone off. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check me out on BitChute and Rumble. And also check out the books. Links in the description. Amazon and Kindle Unlimited is free. So if you got Kindle Unlimited, you can read all the books. Somebody read all the Pineys. Thank you for that. All right. A peek behind the mask. Precautions at the pandemic Grammys. Oh, that sounds wonderful. It's, I guess, I mean, do you really want to see this? I mean, it's bad enough. They won't stop these lockdowns. They won't stop them. They keep scaring everybody. Do you really want to tune in and watch a bunch of rich people go through the same hoops? I don't think you will. I don't think you do. And I don't think they even will totally obey them. Because they're rich and they tend to flaunt that stuff because they have the money to do that. So, I don't know, man. And then, you know, it could be the kind of thing where they lecture everybody on the pandemic. And who wants to see that? I mean, the Grammys, for me, used to be kind of cool when the music appealed to me. Now, you know, what's there? All my stuff's old. I'll admit it. You know, most of the new stuff just doesn't appeal to me. So I don't know who this is for anymore. I guess it's for young people, but young people don't watch TV. I don't think they care about award ceremonies. In the 70s and 80s, it was still kind of a thing. You know, the big variety show. There was like nothing else to watch on TV. And TV, there was no internet. So, you'd watch it. It was a spectacular. Now there's so many things to watch. This just seems boring unless you're like dying to see your favorite music celebrity. Joe Biden breaks silence on Andrew Cuomo's sexual harassment scandal by basically saying, we'll wait till the end of the investigation. Bit of a sidestep. Basically, the entire Democratic Party of New York is calling for Cuomo's head. He should really just resign, but and Biden is stupid to straddle that. He ought to just call him up and say, hey, it's time to go. It's time to go. But, you know, he's a diehard Democrat. These guys, when you're diehard, you don't turn against anybody. But it's time. It's time. It's long overdue that Cuomo resign. But, you know, I guess he's got some chips to play. If he gets, the longer he stays in, the more likely it is he won't be going to prison for the nursing home stuff. Speaking of which, is Jay Inslee the next Andrew Cuomo? I was kind of hoping it would be Phil Murphy of New Jersey, since he's probably got the second highest body count in that area. But, I mean, they're all good. Lock them all up, I say. Jay Inslee, apparently, governor of Washington State, was offered funds to nursing homes to accept beer virus patients. I don't know why he did it. At least Cuomo and Murphy had the justification that they were trying to keep people off the aircraft carrier. I mean, that's a dumb justification. It's totally political, but it's a justification. Why did Inslee do that? Is he just stupid? I mean, are these people that ignorant of medical procedures? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but Jesus. I wouldn't have put the beer virus patients in with the nursing home people at all. Even if they had said, no, the virus, people over 60 are immune to the virus. Even if that was the case, I would have said, well, no. They're old. They have compromised immune systems. You don't put sick people near them, ever. So stupid, so tragic. But I can only imagine the communists that would replace him, quite frankly. The socialists in the Northwest are just out of control. They're out of control. All right, let's go to Gab Trends and check out the other headlines that we missed today. We covered that. Oh, college students celebrating spring break despite pandemic. Yeah, Florida's open. I don't know why that's a news story, ABC News. Florida is open. I would totally go. House Democrats draw the line. No bipartisan cooperation with Republicans who question the election, from NBC News. Okay, NBC News and House Democrats. I can't see any way that could possibly turn around and bite you in the ass. Can you? I guess not. Pompeo warns Biden trying to end run around terror financing ban. I guess looks like he's going to. The Palestinian Authority for a number of years has rewarded terrorists who successfully injure or kill innocent Israelis. So I guess this is Biden trying to give the Palestinians money. Yeah, that worked before. Look, I wasn't a total supporter of Trump's foreign policy and some of the things he did, but at least it was honest, And with regard to Israel, he just gave the Israelis what they basically had already, the capital, Jerusalem. They wanted it. The United States pretends like it wasn't really the capital, that the Israelis don't control it, but they do, and you might as well just make it official at this point. There's no point in dragging this out. And it seemed like the region was calming down, so you can't really argue with Trump's results. I don't know why Biden would. I guess it's the woke left pushing Biden to fund the Palestinians. I feel bad for the Palestinians. They should be. Maybe they could come here. We got a big country. We still got plenty of room. Israel and Palestine is really, really tiny. It's got to be some kind of deal to resettle the Palestinians. Maybe would that help? Granted, they probably have holdings and land, but maybe that could be worked out. Maybe they could be compensated monetarily. It's better than living in a war zone, I would say. Montana could certainly absorb the population, and I think it would be, I wrote an article a long time ago saying that they could move all of Israel to Montana. Yeah, it would solve a lot of problems in the Middle East. Not that they would do it, but it seems more realistic that maybe the Palestinians could move, but who knows. Coca-Cola hiring law firms only if they have enough black attorneys. Yeah, that seems stupid. Seems really, really stupid, Coca-Cola. But hey, continue with your racial programs, I guess. See where that gets you. I, for one, am done with Coke, but I've been done with soda for years. From Politico, Trump was supposed to be a political Godzilla in exile. Instead, he's adrift. I don't know about that. Seems to be raising money, seems to be organizing things. I'm sure he wouldn't tell you, Politico. But, yeah, I don't know what exactly you expect from the guy. Just yesterday, Laura Trump sounds like she's running for senator in North Carolina. That's pretty big, and I'm pretty sure the Trump name will get her elected. And that'll be a Trump in Congress to help out. And that's a senator position. She's young. She'll hold on to that for a long time. A journalist and Twitter falsely accused GOP Congresswoman of voting against beer virus small business relief bill she introduced this month, from the Gateway Pundit. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Journalists and Twitter are pretty inaccurate these days. This is freshman Florida Republican Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar. Yeah, she's a freshman Congresswoman, introduces a bill. She's going to vote against it. She's not John McCain. I'm pretty sure she's not going to introduce a bill and vote against it, especially if you're a freshman Congresswoman. Dr. Fauci calls on President Trump. This is from Gateway Pundit about Chuck Todd's interview with Fauci. He wants Trump to urge his supporters to get the beer virus vaccine. What's the problem here? I just don't get it. Well, first off, Fauci, Trump isn't president anymore. So I don't see why you think he should be telling people what to do in that area. Maybe if he was still president, you could do that, but you can't. And you can't blame him. Why don't you talk to Biden about it? And perhaps if you hadn't politicized the whole damn virus to begin with, it wouldn't really be an issue. But, you know, again, the vaccine, I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I believe in the vaccine. But, that being said, certain people should get it, right? Elderly, compromised immune system people, they should all get it first. After that, you're talking about a shot that's basically a flu virus kind of shot, I mean, this is endemic now. I don't think they have all the information yet. I mean, especially with the false positives they were getting with the PRCs. And that's part of the politicization of the virus, which Fauci is at least partially responsible for. So, F Fauci, I say. Two liberal icons, America is now on the path to totalitarianism. That would be Robert Kennedy Jr. and Naomi Wolf. I forget who Naomi Wolf is, but RFK Jr. Yeah, he's a big environmentalist guy. He got canceled little ways back. Yeah, the Democrats are starting to wake up to this, albeit too late. I mean, that article I read a couple of days ago about the freelancers, like, the Republicans are the only ones that care, and I hate Republicans, but, it's just unbelievable. We covered that. Andrew Cuomo's staffers have stopped coming to work as scandal grows. Yeah, I'd do that too. Of course, I'd take any excuse not to work. Except to write, of course. Former EPA media buried climate progress made under Trump admin, from Breitbart. Yeah, I could see that. The media was completely against Trump. And now they're completely for Biden, but even that has reached the limit. He's such an F-up. But they have Kamala Harris in their back pocket, so I think they feel a little more comfortable criticizing Biden than they would other president. They'll never criticize Kamala. Oh no. Dem Oregon State senators introduce bill to, we said this one yesterday, to pay black people $123,000 in reparations. That's going to be a nightmare. Free speech group accuses police of inventing hate crimes from WND. Yeah, I could see that. That's part of the problem with the whole hate crime legislation. It's really arresting people for what they say and think, and that's pretty subjective. And when the police should not be policing that kind of stuff. They should have limited powers. Chicago River will not be dyed green for St. Paddy's Day. Probably a good idea. I don't know what that does to the fish. Probably not a good thing. Amazon will stop selling books with opinions about transgenderism it doesn't like, from Breitbart. Yeah, they've done that already. I think that's a bad idea. I think, really this whole woke stuff. I mean, there are other places to sell your book, but Amazon should not be doing that. There's plenty of other books they sell that people find reprehensible. But once you start censoring, you can't stop. Georgia Lieutenant Governor Duncan, GOP, doesn't need election reforms. We need to move past Trump. I'll just let that sit there. I think you know how I feel about that. I don't think it'll be any harm to, examine certain things in that area. Georgia, maybe. Establishment media to Congress. Give us a handout to stop misinformation. Yeah, that sounds like it'll work. Yeah, let's give the New York Times some money and maybe they'll do better reporting. I think they should not get that money. If they gave even one thin dime to the New York Times, I'd be livid. I'd be absolutely livid. They should not get any money. But, they are the propaganda arm and they're failing. I mean, CNN seems to be falling apart in terms of the ratings. Maybe they'll bail them out. It would be the worst thing Biden has done. It really would. Microsoft and Google openly feuding amid hacks. Well, good. I'd rather them feud than get along. Seems like when they get along, uh, not good things happen. Um, Biden urges police reform as Breonna Taylor protests turn violent across the nation. I didn't see that many protests, but not as many as say George Floyd. But the idea of that frail old man saying, "Oh, I want police reform. I'm one of you. Please stop rioting." Doesn't work. I mean, this mummy has been in a basement for months and months and months. He doesn't know what he's doing. And the people around him are even more clueless, if you can imagine. I mean, just look at the optics they have with Biden's speeches and talking to people. It's like watching a public access TV show run by 10th graders. It's awful. It's just awful. These people, they're just not adults. Okay? Rioting in the street is not a protest. It's not a protest. And you reward these people. It's like having a pet and giving them a treat when they do something bad. You don't reward the pet when they do something bad. You don't reward rioters when they do something bad. You punish them, or you say no. Where are the adults in these cities and states? They don't care. They don't care. They think they know better. They do the opposite of Trump and Republicans, and now they've painted themselves into this weird corner of like, well, we can't really go after certain protesters. It's what Tim Pool talked about for months and months and months. Basically, policing based on feelings and political views. It's a disaster. It's an absolute effing disaster, and the Dems will pay for it. They will pay for it once they are. I really think in 2022 they will pay severely. If they don't, I don't know what's going to happen, because it seems to me the people I talk to, and I'm in New Jersey, a very blue state, they're very unhappy with the Democrats. I mean, extremely unhappy. You can't get into a conversation about the Democrats with most people that I've talked to and not have them start cursing out the Democrats and just furious at them and everything they do, and just, oh, they're so corrupt and stupid and dumb and I hate them and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And, and even the people that vote for them, they're constantly defending them, and they sort of barely do, but, they're all on the ropes too. And now that they're in, they kind of all checked out because they've been sort of radicalized, but I don't see how the Dems can sustain this. I really don't. Not without a full-blown socialist revolution. I mean, if that's their intent, I mean, that's another whole deal. And finally, the most hilarious headline of the evening is from the Daily Mail. Is Meghan Markle already planning a bid to be America's first woman president? Oh, God, I hope so. That would just be the biggest train wreck of an election, of a campaign, I should say. It wouldn't even be an election. She would never, ever get the nomination. No way. Absolutely not would she get the nomination. She, I hope she runs, though. I hope she runs. I hope her and Harry blow all their money trying to elect her president. It would be incredible to watch. I hope they go completely broke doing it. I really do. That would be the perfect FU to that. And then finally Meghan can, be on a national stage saying, well, you didn't vote for me because I'm a black woman. You're all bigots. No, they didn't vote for you because you and your husband are worth $50 million, and you go on Oprah and complain that you're oppressed somehow. You're not oppressed. Okay? Having to curtsy is not oppression. Not when you're worth $50 million and you live in the most luxurious lifestyle imaginable. You're not oppressed. No. You didn't have to live there. You could have stayed in LA and continued to act and not dated Harry at all. Yeah, you could have left him alone and had your career out in Hollywood and probably been on some TV shows or a movie or two and probably done very well for yourself. But you chose this life. And now you're acting as if someone put a gun to your head and made you do it. No one made you do this. No one cares. And now you've S the bed. The royal family is probably curses your name every day. Especially since you took Harry away from them, which is never good. And you know, there's been article after article, and you know, there's a Meghan Markle in every family, you know, and there is. It's true. I've known Meghan Markles, yeah, and they're disruptive. They're always like, oh, woe is me. Pay attention to me. Everything's so hard, and my problems are everybody's problems. That's the way they are. Like, her problem would be everybody's problem. Maybe she'd be a good president that way. Oh, the United States doesn't have any oil, and that's everybody's problem. You know, she's just a whiny, spoiled rich girl. I don't see any way she could be president or senator or congresswoman. You know, I wouldn't make her, you know, the lowest possible mayor in America. I mean, she seems completely incapable of running her life, other than complaining. That's not a qualification to be the president. You know, as bad as Joe Biden is, and he's horrible, at least the guy kind of knows a few things. I gotta imagine he knows something about the law and how Washington works. I mean, Meghan Markle, I mean, she hasn't even lived here for a long time. She just moved back. So, yeah, that would be hilarious, though. I would love to see Meghan Markle run and be in a Democratic debate up on the stage with like 50 million people. It's never going to happen, though, because Kamala's going to run her campaign in the ground. The only person more unpopular than Kamala Harris would be Meghan Markle. So maybe they'll let her run just to make Kamala look good. I don't know. That's it for me tonight. Joan and I will see you tomorrow.